Life's a game, the world's a stage, and we are merely role-players, where theatrical people play role-playing games. I'm Matt Boothman, and I'm your compere for this studio production. Here on Merely Role-Players, we improvise stories, for your entertainment and ours. And we use role-playing games to keep the story going places even we can't see coming, because as theatrical people, we're all about maximising the drama. In this production, we're playing Galactic, a Belonging Outside Belonging game by Riley Rethal, which you can find at metagame.itch.io. So please take your seats in the studio. Tonight's production is about to begin. The First Nova, a Merely Role-Players studio production. Act 3 of 3. The ship, Mustang Sally, leaves hyperspace in the shadow of the starship Trinary Noon.
This isn't a standard asteroid field, right? There's like dancing lights like the Northern Lights.
We've got company.
They're just going to disintegrate the entire wreck with us in it.
The central data core of the Trinary Noon awakens.
Records accessed.
There are remnants of the old people. Revan would be one of them. And in their memories lies the key to defeat the mandate.
All of the lights go red.
Oh no!
And this towering hologram appears.
I can only thank you for the information, and the power of the space between will be mine.
We may not need to go to the propaganda headquarters. After all, the data they took may not be as valuable as what is in our friend's memory.
It was more of a red herring than we thought it might have been.
Revan.
Yes?
All your life you have served something else. Even since you got out, you have helped, always interested in helping and what you can do to support the rest of us. But, Revan, what do you want? I'm giving you a token by asking, what desire have you been burying?
I am sorry, Versi. But you are mistaken. I am nothing. I am no one. Whatever this machine, His Excellency's brother, said, I do not think it is correct. My life is empty. I have no memories of anything except serving my commander and the mandate and whatever might have been inside of me before. They took it a long time ago. Perhaps there are others you can find, and I will help you. I owe all of you my freedom. You have given me the chance to make choices. I never had that before. But in truth, I do not know what I want or who I am. I can, however, ask you, how can I help you? Tell me, show me the way, and I will do everything I can. And that is a lateral move, so I can give you a token if you if I act on your answer. So it's just giving tokens back and forth.
So Olwyn approaches Revan. Revan, take a seat. I think it's about time we had a bit of a tete-a-tete. Listen to me. Obviously very, very glad that we got you out of the control of those individuals. That was an awful, awful situation.
I did that myself, but thank you.
Well, we provided you safe passage and
This is
and
true.
camaraderie.
Yes, I apologize.
Of course. However, I think what you have to realise here, Revan, is that this is bigger than you are. Okay? What's going on, the information that you hold, could potentially put a crater in the entire operation of the mandate. Do you understand that? So I appreciate that you've got feelings, and I appreciate that you might be feeling a little overwhelmed by the situation that has been presented to you. However, the hard truth of the matter is that this is bigger than anybody in this room, and it's certainly bigger than you, my girl. We need the information that you hold to help end this tyrannical display of power and oppression. And so I hate to say this, but you're just going to have to suck it up, my girl. You're just going to have to swallow down any feelings you might have for the good of the people, the good of the galaxy. Do you understand?
Yes. But, Your Excellency, I think you misinterpret. The problem is not excessive feeling, is lack thereof. I don't feel anything, usually. But no, what I mean to say is, how can I have the key or the information, as you say, when I was with the mandate for so long and all I was a lowly bodyguard? I don't believe they would have kept me alive if I was as dangerous as you seem to think I am to them. No?
You've got something of a glowing symbol on yourself. Correct? That means you're important.
Oh, that...
Yes.
Yes, that's new.
This whole time, Jodie's been, stuck. I will say, for the narrative, would not have seen much of this, whatever this Zorgon-esque sort of thing. It's just been, going, comes out. And here's Olwyn being, frankly, really horrible to Revan. And so we'll go and say, who the fuck do you think you are, Mr. Nobody, with no institution, no constituency? You're on our fucking terms now, matey. How dare you? She came and saved our asses from whatever those things were outside, and yet here you are saying that, she needs to make choices. She can make her choice, and when it comes, the choice will matter, you fucking ignoramus. Yeah, look that up in your own fucking dictionary, and I would like to question his authority at a time of confusion or despair.
Nice. I forgot to say that previously my vulnerable move there was tell a hard truth in a way that hurts, so I'd like to take a token for doing that.
Nice.
And I think Jodie would maneuver herself in front of Revan. And I like the idea that actually Jodie is quite short. So it's just standing up to presumably Callahan, who's presumably quite tall. I just imagine them all towering sort of thing. And it's just a ball of fury at this point. Hands sort of yeah, her face is red, overalls are neon. The contraction colour.
So yeah, I think Revan will very awkwardly hug Jodie. Little person, thank you. And then I'm just going to try and move things along and ask Esko, if you know how to get this information from me, please, I am yours.
I see two ways forward. We could follow our original instincts and chase the data stolen from us back to the mandate, or follow this new path presented by Baldwin and this incredible ship. Both would be hard, and I think the key to it would be the message suggested there are more of you. More who hold this legacy of what went before the mandate. If we could bring many of you together, I think it could unlocks something, like a criticality of memory. But that would be a long, hard process unless there's some sort of shortcut.
Oi, computer.
Hello.
All these relatives, I guess, of our Revan here. Do you happen to know whenever any of them are? You had all those blinky red lights of the mandate. Got anything in your systems about old pastime people?
I'm sorry, I cannot process your request. Please use simpler terms.
Perhaps we do not have to physically bring them together. My studies have not brought me much knowledge of the mysteries of the space between, but I understand it is formed of the connections between people. Perhaps we could reach out through it and network the survivors.
Sounds like a plan.
Then what would we do when we had everybody together?
I suppose that would depend on what information is revealed to us by unlocking this memory, but the mandate depends on the myth that they conquered evil to rule the galaxy. If perhaps we could unlock these memories and distribute them through the space between.
Ooh.
Perhaps we could undermine that lie across the galaxy.
Communicate directly into the ears of every member of the society in the galaxies. Correct?
Yes, a shared consciousness for only a moment, but that information that could be uploaded into people's minds, well, such a technique would be incredible, but it would be so powerful, and if you falling into the wrong hands, why, the mandate would be able to easily rewrite what people believe in a second, like overwriting a Word document.
Jodie, it would be propaganda on a mass scale, larger than anything that we've seen before.
Perhaps the mandate made a mistake. It is not the information held in this ship that matters. It is the ship. It is the energy field, this place. This is the center. Maybe it is not the content of the message. It is how it is distributed that matters.
I would quickly like to make a mandate move.
No,
Strat, it was all going so well.
No.
Just while we worked it out, there's got to be threat.
Yep.
So I'm going to put someone immediate danger. So what has I'm going to give the token to. Oh, everyone's got so many tokens. I'm going to have the token. I am in immediate danger.
Do it.
So the shield that had got up was indeed able to slow them down, but suddenly while we are chatting, there is a huge rumble and everything shaken, and clearly the whatever big scary guns on that ship outside are starting to have quite a serious impact on the ship. Val, who has very much feeling it out of his depth with all this strange big words and computers and things, that is a long way away from simple old fly ship shoot gun, sees an opportunity. It's like, okay, let me get this straight. You plan to do some sort of woo-woo here and tell everybody in the galaxy some stuff, and people outside don't want that to happen, right? I cannot help you here. What I can do is keep those people outside distracted so they don't blast this ship into a million pieces before you manage to do it. So you do what you got to do, and I'm going to go and start a fight I can't win. Which is one of my moves. Literally start a fight I cannot win.
No.
So while you're doing whatever you are doing, Val is going to race back to Mustang Sally, give it a bit of a kick in the thrusters, and propel it out into space and do whatever the space battle equivalent of "Hey, you look over here,
Over here,
is.
over here.
Woo-woo.
Don't look
at
over
me.
there. Yeah.
Look at me.
And just fly, just buzz around it and fire at it fairly ineffectually, and give you all the opportunity to do whatever clever things you need to do to get that out in the galaxy.
As Val runs off to start up the Mustang Sally, that sparks something in Esko, and he turns to Jodie. Jodie, this ship is ancient and broken and derelict and drifting. Can you fly it?
You betcha I can. Swivels round is apparently in a chair right now, swivels round and starts mashing anything. Which I will, if you're allowing me to do so, I will maneuver an unfamiliar vehicle without trouble. And I'll spend a strong move to do that. And as I start, almost like playing an organ, the music starts coming on. I'll have the helmet on, won't I? So again, classical music comes through. The low 5 beats as the ship starts slowly coming into life.
And maybe rather than moving under thrust, is kind of using the weird energies of this part of space to almost generate fields that pull it along.
Oh yeah, sort of. And I also like the idea that the big glyph at the back is we are now in motion. Make sure you're wearing seatbelts. A door is open. Oh, and lots of things are open. Oh my, it's just alert notifications as Jodie's yeah, fine. Slam something down. It goes silent.
Please be aware there is no atmosphere on most of the ship.
Does the voice start to do the cabin crew safety announcement? Please make sure you are seated and your seatbelts are securely fastened.
Yeah, absolutely. Be welcome to whatever this ship's called. Have a pleasant flight. 1000%.
Josh, do you want to take it away and set the scene for Val's fight against the Mandate?
There is the largest of the war spaceships standing proudly on the bridge of which is Mallory Callahan.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And just as Val's ship comes into view, dispensing from the hull underneath the giant spaceship, the Behemoth, fly a load of tiny TIE Fighter-esque spaceships, which begin to fly in the direction of Val. They still have to fly through asteroids and around the light effects and soothing aura of the space between. But they are coming for you, Val.
Awesome. I am going to use a strong move, and I am going to pull off an absurd stunt to take advantage of an unexpected opportunity, and that is that they have decided to come to me in this very dangerous asteroid field that apparently likes us more than them. Just to save on, the energy needed to power up my lasers, which is quite costly, and I'd rather not use that up as well as possible because, a lot of the money Callahan's given me has been spent on tat that is now in my treasure trove. Val will just fly in his own unique, shall we say, style, which is very erratic and dangerous, and of a person that looks like they haven't passed their space driving test.
I knew it!
Yep.
I shout randomly from my ship.
It's a counterfeit.
And whatever squad came in, I mean, they're only mandate pilots. They haven't got any real world piloting experience in asteroids. So he's just going to handbrake turn and drift round asteroids and go suddenly straight forward to suddenly up, and just leave just debris of mandate fighter ships scattered throughout the asteroid belt, and hop out of his chair, look over. Rusty, take the wheel, get us close to the bridge lookout, would you? Bad Moon Rising formation, I believe. I've got something to do that I can guarantee I'm not going to shut up about for the rest of my life. And Rusty will jump into the pilot seat and go, "You don't shut up about anything anyway."
I didn't realise that Rusty was from the West Midlands, by the way. I quite like that. You didn't shut up about it anyway.
Yes.
Val, trusting Rusty, will run off to Jodie's workshop and gather some supplies for a little plan he has a-cooking.
It definitely would be, as you go into the workshop, there's like a "do not enter, especially Val." Like
Val kicks down the door in a dramatic fashion.
And it's even more dramatic because it's a shoosh door.
You kick it sideways. It's like a roundhouse kick.
Yeah.
Beaming from the Mandate warship, a communication signal is sent, and flashing up on all of the monitors on Mustang Sally, you see the severe face of Mallory Callahan, who is attempting communication. You see a stern, older woman's face with the Princess Leia Danish bun hairstyle.
This is Mallory Callahan on board the Mandate warship War Bastard.
Yay!
Requesting communication with Mustang Sally, Chief Pilot, Velma Waldrin.
Oh, me! Sorry, no one's used my my full name in a while. It's Val to my friends, but I guess that's why you're not using it. What can I do for you?
You are commanded to stand down immediately and...
Commanded by who? Who? Sorry, who?
This is Mallory Callahan on board the War Bastard, ordering you to stand down immediately.
Sorry. I'm drawing a complete blank here. I'm so sorry. This very rarely happens. Mallory Cunningham, was it?
You boys and your silly tricks. You are a thorn in the side of the Mandate. Listen to me, little boy.
No, sorry, you're breaking up, and I really don't have time for a date. I mean, I'm sure you're very, very, very lovely, and I mean, the hair really does it for you. But I must say, I'm just not really in the right place, emotionally for a relationship right now. I've been through a lot of stuff. There are these like space magic things going on. Have you seen that? And there was a big hologram, and really, I am mostly focused on killing you and all your men, and then maybe we can talk about... Oh no, because you'll be dead, won't you? Bye. Hang up.
I'm going to use a move from the Mandate, foreshadow a larger threat and gain a token.
Oh no, it's Mark. Mark Callahan is the bigger threat. We knew it all along.
Yeah.
No.
You hear, even through the vacuum of space, let's say, no, you don't hear, you see through space, large laser cannons attached to the side of the War Bastard, which activate. And rather than pointing at you and tracking you, because of course you're far too quick, you couldn't be targeted by such a slow and yet powerful laser cannon, is pointing directly at the ship on which your friends are standing. They are preparing to blast the Trinary Noon out of existence.
Alright, lovies, it's me, Matt, your compere, wishing you all a safe journey home after this action-packed finale. Shall we take a look through the programme together while we catch our breath? First off, a reminder that you can buy Galactic, the game we're playing, at metagame.itch.io, and you can buy the playbook I'm playing, The Researcher, separately at merelymat.itch.io. If you play a researcher, I would love to hear about it, either in the comments on the itch page or over on Twitter, where I'm at merelymj. Next, and I'm rattling through the programme because there's a lot in there today, we're now in September, and September is International Podcast Month, when podcasters the world over get together to make a whole raft of new one-off episodes. Search your usual podcast app for International Podcast Month, and you'll find brand new episodes nearly every day of September, including conversations with creators, audio drama crossovers, trailers for upcoming productions, and role-playing game actual plays like what we do here. Keep an eye out especially for the Dust Wardens role-playing game episode, arriving next Tuesday the 14th, because I'm in that one. Dust Wardens is a role-playing game set in a world reshaped by a plant apocalypse, where friendship and queer love are literally magic. The Dust Wardens are magical friend groups or polycules who roam the veg-pocalypse, helping people out. In the International Podcast Month game, I'm playing Archie, a Dust Warden with the knack of navigating the shifting landscape of the Plantcalypse, who travels around on a giant impossible monocycle and always tries to go around the problem instead of through it. The episode was organised, GM'd and produced by Ursula from the Queer Dungeoneers podcast, and I got to play alongside Kelly from Tabletop Tiddies and Justin Jess from the Babylon Project. And even if that doesn't sound like your thing, you should check out International Podcast Month anyway. With all of the different podcasts and people involved, you're bound to find something new and cool to get obsessed with. Next, the really big news. Possibly the biggest news since we started Merely Roleplayers 4 years ago. This October, we're getting back to our roots as theatrical people and putting on the first Merely Roleplayers stage show as part of the London Horror Festival. The show is called Lights Out, and it's going to be on the 24th of October in a double bill with the Scare Slam, which is a spoken word showcase that Blackshaw does every horror festival. I've thought a lot over the years about what a Merely Roleplayers live show could look like, so it's both exciting and a bit terrifying to finally be putting all of that into practice. I'll be talking about this show a lot between now and the 24th of October, so I won't go into too much detail right now. I'll just say that it will be recognisably a Merely Roleplayers show, while also being created for the stage. It won't just be us recording an episode live. This is us trying something new. Tickets aren't on sale yet, but save the 24th of October and keep an eye on our Twitter and my newsletter, both linked in the programme notes, and we'll make sure you don't miss out. Related, the Scare Slam, the first half of that double bill, is open to submissions at the moment. If you've got a story, a poem, a monologue or similar that you want to perform for a horror festival type audience, follow the link in the programme notes to Blackshaw's website to get your submission in. All pieces need to work without tech, be no more than 8 minutes long, be your own work, and chill the audience to the bone. Within those rules, anything goes, so go have fun. Final announcement before we get back to our finale. Next week's episode will be the usual backstage post-show discussion of the first Nova. Then the following week we're closing the studio and reopening the main house for Vigil, Bad Dog. This is going to be the first Vigil production with returning main characters. Alexander Pankhurst returns as Graham, the demon accountant, Ellie Pitkin as Persephone Byron, the time-travelling Victorian martial artist, Natalie Winter as Gwynedd, the disgraced former shield maiden of the Morrigan, and Josh Yard, our own Olwyn Callahan the 16th, as Ginny Greenteeth, the much reincarnated wise woman and swindler of tourists. So stay tuned to find out how this very magical group of concerned citizens handles the latest threat to the little town of Sheridan. Still with me? Okay, I'm going to go call beginners for this next scene so we can get back to our big finale. Meanwhile, let me just point you to this ad in the programme for What Am I Rolling? The voice in the trailer should be familiar because it's Fiona, our guest player for this production. If you haven't already, follow Fiona from the first Nova over to What Am I Rolling for more great role-playing game adventures. Then, please take your seats once again for the conclusion of the first Nova.
Hey, listen. Do you know your D8s from your D12s? Do you know your modifiers from your bonuses? Do you know your destiny points from your story points? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? Either way, you should check out What Am I Rolling, a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast. Catch up on previous episodes on the What Am I Rolling website, that's www.wairpodcast.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, adventurers, need not apply.
Val is still frantically tinkering and will hop on the comms and go, I don't think they're paying enough attention to me. 10 minutes or so, they probably will again, but whatever you're doing down there, do it quick.
Should we do Jodie and Olwyn? Standing in awkward silence, post-argument.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little trickier because again, it's such a big console. Jodie's having to reach over to hit things. So I guess Olwyn's right next to her, so she just leans over him. So just trying to.
Sorry, just wanting to patch through to the communications channel here. Rather avant-garde, you might say. That was rather fiery. Did you know that?
Know what?
You standing in front of Revan there. It was rather impressive. The way you stood up to me. Okay, it was in the face of reason, but it was very, very impressive. It's almost caustic. Such charisma. Have you ever considered a career in politics, Jodie?
I did. But they said I couldn't handle the paperwork. And a blip. Huge big, and I guess we shove forward a little bit, but it is uncomely, this sort of manoeuvre.
Well, perhaps we'll consider this if we survive, and if we manage to get our message out.
Yeah.
Perhaps we could talk more.
Olwyn, can I say something in layman's terms?
Please, I'm not very good at listening, as I'm normally the one that's talking, but I will grant you silence.
Great. Shut up, sit down, put your seatbelt on.
He does so, straight away.
And I will spend my strong move, which is to take lead in a moment of confusion or despair. I think Jodie's despairing, because she's left with Olwyn. But essentially, she's getting the ship to move, but it is incredibly slow, and trying to maneuver it through the asteroid field. It's going to take some time, and obviously hearing what's happening, Val patching through and stuff. So I think that is sort of what's going on in the background.
Esko leads Revan deeper into the Trinary Noon, away from this databank that we've all been hanging out in, to this cavernous space between focus and meditation chamber.
As you go down towards this chamber, the lights are starting to blink on, even more so now. This whole thing, the space between, we talked about it as a sort of Aurora Borealis type thing. I think even in the ship now, it's just started to light that way. And in fact, thinking about it, this whole ship is almost being powered by the space between. The idea that I keep saying Zorgon, the glyph character was powered by it, and everything is infused with this magic because it has been here so long. It has actually just become a part of the space between. Yeah,
it's that whole energy field, whatever mysterious thing the space between really is, it's claimed the ship and made it its own.
I like the idea that while this is going on, and while it's the ship that was shattered into pieces has just slowly, almost imperceptibly, started just to move back into shape. That power that it's infused is just bringing it all back together. Just
mending it.
Little holes that were there have suddenly gone. Maybe the gap that that our ship flew in through no longer exists.
And I mean, if this space between effect is getting denser and brighter, then Esko's seeing his mentor round every corner.
Almost like echoes of echoes. That sort of,
yeah.
I can't remember, is it that 80s sort of way of moving across where it sort of leads behind?
Yeah, it leaves
yeah.
And there's a kind of a plinth or a focus spot at the very centre of this chamber where the vision, still facing away, stops and just sort of beckons and then disappears. And Esko is very torn between the incredible historical significance and mystery of this place and the urgency of needing to make it do something.
Revan's had this somewhat uncomfortable cold sweat going on for a hot minute. like they're standing on the precipice of something terrifying and exciting. And there's a lot of actual emotional stuff going on that they're not equipped to handle. So it's like being drunk and high and very happy and very depressed all at once. So just trying to like breathe, put a foot in front of the other, follow Esko and try to sort of just keep it together. Just keep it together for as long as you can, and very much looking to him, wide-eyed, like, what now? What do we do?
And so these glyphs are all over keep recurring and appearing on the walls and the bulkheads everywhere we've been in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there is a real density of them in this room. And Esko, having not been on the ship for all that long, but with a scholar's eye, has started working out how to interpret them and seeing that actually it's a kind of, it's almost like murals that have been created all over the surfaces in this place. So it's less like written language and more like IKEA instructions that sort of model what it is that you're supposed to do, and they all point towards placing somebody on this central plinth. Esko actually gets up on the plinth first and offers one of his 4 hands to Revan to help them up onto the plinth.
And Revan takes the hand, goes up.
There's almost like not like a notification noise, but sort of like, and
Ding.
Things start to happen. And I think, if Revan is okay with it, starts to float. Actually, both of you, I guess, will start to float, almost like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but obviously not as much
No
cooler
farting.
than that. Fizzy lifting juice. But
Start
sort of
burping.
Get higher, get lower. But you start to float like that and start to move around. And as you move around, these glyphs start to like appear, shine brighter in places, and start to make almost like connections, like constellations around you both, I would say. But it's only as soon as Revan gets onto the platform.
I like that it's lifting us up to the exact centre of the chamber and maybe the exact centre of the ship.
Exactly.
Mm.
And Esko puts a hand on each of Revan's shoulders and takes both of Revan's hands with his lower 2 hands and looks in Revan's eyes and says, "Revan, my friend, this incredible ancient ship knows you. It responds to you. When I stepped up, nothing happened. When you stepped up, everything began to happen. Revan, you've been told all your life that you're insignificant and part of a machine and only made to serve, but you're not. You have a great purpose. You are special." And I'm using a strong move to present convincing evidence of a flaw in somebody's worldview.
I think Revan just makes the choice to surrender to whatever this is. And they close their eyes and they just open their mind. Almost like in the darkness of their mind, shapes begin to appear, this vague, ghostly shapes. They don't know if it's people, it could be like little galaxies or stars, or, it's kind of trippy. But then, almost as soon as that happens, we get like flashback after flashback of her past. Every abuse, every lesson, hard learned lesson, every sacrifice, every horrific thing they had to witness. And it's just every time they take a step forward, it's like they're pounding them down. And it's this battle of forces happening inside of them. And I'm going to take a lateral move and ask the question, who or what is really in control here? And it's just going to be a fight between the space in between and mandate. I don't want to say programming, but you know what I mean? Mandate, indoctrination.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, probably Esko can tell there's shaking, there's sweating, there's genuine, like, muscles contracting. a whole lot of very unpleasant things are going on.
I think some of these images in Revan's mind are leaking out into the aurora light filling this chamber as well. So Esko can see some of them.
Yeah, I think for what this is and how it works, I believe that maybe what's in whoever is on this plinth, their mind stuff, probably comes out in a visual way, or you know what I mean? It's like projected out, because obviously you'd need to be able to see it and interpret it. After much internal battle, which is not as exciting narrated by me, but there you go. I'm going to spend a token, because I've got quite a few, to triumph over someone or something which once oppressed you. And Revan is going to break through sheer force of will, that last shackle the mandate had over them, and go, I'm in control. Me. And just explode somehow. It's just like a big explosion of light. So I guess the space between gets 1 token, and I get to spend 1 token.
As you say, I am in control, you hear almost like 1,000 voices saying, I am in control, I am in control. And then it sort of comes to a point where it says, we are in control. We are in control. We are control. And it just sort of echoes and almost like a ripple out from the ship using the asteroid field. And everyone in that area definitely feels it.
Meanwhile.
Yeah. Val has felt that as well. And so it's like, okay, distraction over, time to finish this. He had instructed Rusty to perform the Bad Moon Rising maneuver, which is very slowly rising up out of view into the view of your foe. So a small thing is going to rise up into the view of the, viewing platform for the bridge where Mallory and all the senior officers are. And as Mustang Sally rises up, Val has gotten out of the ship and is stood on the top of it. And so you first see Val rise up.
Oh my god!
With coat floating in 0G. Just as he clocks eyes with those, he's just gonna no t-shirt, just braces. Reach in, pull out a blaster, and kind of just very lazily point it at the sneering faces in the cockpit, and just open a channel to the cockpit.
You know, I've met a few of your friends. We discovered this very interesting little thing attached to their back. Appears the mandate don't like it when people go off the rails and installed, should we call it a fail-safe? Yes. Well, I borrowed one.
And I will use my strong move to reveal that I stole something earlier.
Nice.
Yes!
And I tell you what, you don't fly around with the smartest person in the galaxy and not pick up a trick or two.
And the white thing now has lots of weird little wires come out of it, and just a little satellite dish sort of thing that is spinning and spinning and spinning, and slowly comes down and moves down and points at the ship and goes,
Ah, excellent. They do install them in the ships as well. Bye-bye.
And it just point the blaster at the little white thing, pull the trigger, and that... the thing that he's been doing with this is setting up so when that one goes off, all the other ones in the surrounding area also go off. And just as he shoots, there's like a little bit of a pause, and Mallory gets to sneer, I guess. And he just goes,
wait for it.
Power pose, massive explosion.
Oh my god, it's like
you turn around so you're not looking at it.
Just like, that's so many explosions.
And they just get on the guns like,
guys, did you see that? Did you see that?
Rusty's on comms saying, yes, captured in the slow motion cameras as requested.
Soundtrack added, music to blast to.
Yeah, and there's just a series of explosions throughout the War Bastard. And the last thing you hear is just a communication message from Mallory saying, you little shit.
Oh.
I think Val just killed your mum.
I know. I'm not doing very well in this game, am I?
yeah.
Whoops.
I would like to do a little dance on the top of the Mustang Sally. And if I might just take control of the mandate just for a little second, because I can't have this work perfectly, I would just like, as Val is doing his victory dance and just like pulling out his braces and looking real pleased with himself, you just hear and an entire fleet of mandate ships are just going to blast it and go, oh, Rusty, it's time for us to move. So mandate is going to foreshadow a greater threat, which is, of course, the mandate don't just have one ship.
The rest of the fleet have arrived.
Oh my God.
Are they really going to risk that? No, not now they know there's been a disturbance in the space between.
Oh, shoot.
So Val is going to dive back through the hatch and just slam the Mustang Sally into reverse. Not even going to bother turning round, just to keep an eye on what's going on. And you just all hear through the comms like,
They brought friends. Celebrated too soon, wasted that dance. I hope you're all done, because we got to get out of here.
I think it's probably time that I send through a little message to my little bird on the inside of the mandate, eh?
Yep, go for it. And I'll throw like the big communicator, which I have now created like a cup on a string, essentially, for you to just like, here, go.
Do I need to patch through to the computer first, or is it a direct line?
I'm the one who asks the questions, and I just flick a couple of switches like, yeah, straight through, go.
Oh, okay.
Operator.
And I call through to my ally. I use my ability. My lateral move. Call in a favour from an ally and give them a token. I call through to my man on the inside, codename Oberon.
Hello. How did you get into this channel? And think before you answer, because if I don't like what you say, you're dead.
Oberon, my word, what an angsty reply for an ally. It is I, His Excellency Olwyn Callahan 16th. Calling in...
Olwyn. Oh, how's my favorite low-level, fashion-taste-challenged, bloody tragedy politician?
Oh, shoot.
Ooh, my word, you certainly had a bit of time to be thinking that one up, didn't you, Oberon?
Oh, it just came to me.
Ouch. You're stinging, but it's okay. I'm a politician. I've got a thick skin. It's nice to talk to you. I understand that my follically challenged brother is part of the revolution now. I wanted you to pass on a message, and I'd like to call in the favour that you owe me, Oberon, old boy. Being the blunt mercenary that you are, I was hoping that you'd be able to send the cavalry. Our current location, I'm just patching through to you now, the Trinary Noon spaceship. We are currently coming under heavy fire from those nasties in the mandate and could really do with some assistance.
Are you quite done?
I am, but if you could just speed up the response, that would be greatly appreciated.
I must say, Olwyn, I always had you down as a spineless little shit with the backbone of a chocolate eclair, but I have to say I am kind of impressed, slightly turned on, and somewhat irritated, but in the spirit of our relationship, and acknowledging that I do, in fact, owe you a favor, I will relay your message to your brother, theoretically assuming that he was part of this liberation and I had access to him, which of course I will deny if anyone asks. I will say, however, if you want any extra help, I might be interested in some of your knickknacks, so we'll converse further if you don't die. Ta-ta!
Goodbye for now, and continue to vote
They've
Olwyn.
already cut the call.
Okay. I didn't realise Oberon was quite as sassy as that, but that's always good to know.
You just see Jodie smirking because she's listened in on the entire conversation through the comms.
Val, just how many ships are out there?
Lots of ships. There's a lot of ships. There's a shit ton of ships. They've got all the ships. All the ships. They're just a lot of ships.
Well, let's just hope that my contact on the inside has some sort of portal or wormhole close to hand that they'll be able to send the fleet through. Otherwise, we might just have to, get blown to pieces, I guess.
Well, I'm just landing in this strangely well put together hangar that I didn't see before. So I guess soon I'll meet you in the cockpit.
Yeah, get to the bridge.
Double time.
On my way.
I think everybody has just come into the bridge and are frantically trying to work out the best way how to maneuver a giant spaceship out of an asteroid field. And Val can kind of rock up and see everybody trying to be far too analytical and sensible in their way. He's just going to sidle up to Revan and go, you got a better idea of what all these symbols mean, right?
And Revan is like,
okay, yeah, you've had the time for it. If you could just, if one of these in a normal ship, oh yes,
Bertie, he can, oh my god, he can, I think I'm going to pass out. And kind of like passes out. Briefly passes out. No, Esko, I think I understand now. I can talk to the network. You can translate, send the information to Jody. Jody, you can liaise with the ship, and then we can get the hell out of Dodge. Yes, I think that should work. Is everyone okay? What's happening?
That sounds like a wonderful plan. If you could do all that and just ask, I guess we just need to know which one the throttle is.
Yes, let's just get out of here and we'll have all the time in the world to assess all the new things that we've learned.
I think Val is just going to kind of look down and look for the biggest button and go, probably this one. And just hit it.
And as you hit it, Jodie's like, oh yeah, this one too, and uses a strong move to get you or someone else out of harm's way. So we both do it at the same time. Yeah.
Did Jodie notice the label that said self-destruct sequence that Val was about to press?
Redo. I grab Val's hand and shift it, and we both hit the warp, the black alert warp button, and we shove through time and space.
It'd be really nice if the ship had like, again, we're stealing from the other galaxy far, far away. But when you move in time and space so suddenly, there's like you have like an energy wave sort of situation. I think it's like expansion and then contraction really, really quick from where the ship used to be.
Yeah.
And maybe a few of those mandate ships that came to deal with us maybe got caught in the little explosion and went bye-bye.
Yeah,
definitely.
Pulled in and crunched with a few of the asteroids and then thrown out again.
Yes.
Nice. Maybe at the same time that is also when the Liberation
Yes.
cruisers
Arrives.
can tab as well.
The cavalry,
and suddenly
yeah.
it's like, haha.
Mopped up the survivors.
Yes.
Like what in the actual hell?
Yeah, this vulnerable old Hulk just contracts, disappears, and where it was is suddenly this incredible swarm and fleet of Liberation fighters ready to join the battle.
And I think just as a lasting sort of note, as the camera sort of cuts away from this presumably big, huge, like, dogfight, you just see little glyphs of these things sort of start to melt out of the air, and then pop, gone.
To be continued. ...
That's curtain.
Yay!
Roll credits.
Special effects, 5,000 people.
Sponsored by VW, Al Pacino, George Lucas.
Levi's.
Levi's.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much.
Oh my god.
It's such a good system.
I don't know how we got out of that one.
This has been The First Nova, a studio production from Merely Roleplayers, starring Matt Boothman as Esko Triff, Josh Yard as Olwyn Callahan the 16th, and Strat as Val Waldrin, guest starring Fiona Howard as Jodie Shute, and introducing Marta da Silva as Revan. The theme music is by Alexander Pankhurst, and the episode was edited and produced by Matt Boothman. We were playing Galactic, a role-playing game by Riley Rathal. You can find Galactic and many other fine games at metagame.itch.io. Merely Roleplayers is a Foggy Outline production in association with Blackshaw Theatre Company. Until next time, if drama be the food of life, play on.
Why am I sounding English? What's happening? I don't understand. Sorry. I'm very confused.
It's the ship mind. It's melding with yours.
Let's just try different accents for a second here. No, so yes, no, back to me. Oh, thank goodness, I felt very out of body there.